Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So prepared to do another pour, but before I do, I am going to show you the last couple of pieces I did. So this was that swipe that I did. As you can see, the base coat was only mixed with Floetrol. When the colours were mixed with only a pouring medium, they have kind of given this cracked look as they've dried. So it's not really cracked as such. It's still quite smooth to run your finger across, but the paints have separated underneath and given this little cracked kind of look to it. It still looks kind of cool, but wasn't exactly what I was going for. So I'm going to try this again with the base coat done in pouring medium too. So pouring medium for colour, pouring medium for white, and see how that goes. But it was a good experiment, and that's the thing about trying something new. You just got to give it a go and see how it works. And here is my dried pearl pour. Again, it's hard to get these in the lights, but look how cool that is. Really, really loving this. I kind of feel like I've got, let me hold it differently. Can I balance it there? Kind of feel like I've got like a little ghost character here with a couple of eyes. That's just how it all popped up. But I'm really pleased with this one. This is the deep-sided canvas, so it's hard to really show the pearls on the sides. They're there, and they've kind of ran down and kind of just given a streaky pearl look. But really, really pleased with that one. I'm really happy. So certain times things just turn out the way you want it, and other times they don't, but that's the fun of art, isn't it? So let me just make sure we're focused. Yep, we are. Okay, so tonight I'm going to do a flip cup with no silicone. So I don't want any silicone in this. I just want it to be a flip cup. Tape. I can't find my green tape, which is the stronger one. So we'll have to see if this is going to do what I want it to do or not. I think I've used it for something else around the house, and now I've put it somewhere else and not put it back with my art supplies. So it's going to be 5 cups, and I've got 5 colours. White is doubled, so there's 2 amounts of white. I have sorry, you can't see them. White, turquoise, cerulean blue, a grey, which I make with mostly white with just a touch of black, and then a dark blue, which is phthalo blue with a touch of black. So it's just given me 3 blues, a grey and a white. Are these lights on full? Yeah, they are. So I'm hoping for blue colours, and I'm not going to tilt side to side. I'm just going to tilt up and down. I want it to be quite lines. I want it to be more lines and not really any cells. So I've seen other people have like pictures that are mostly just lines, and I like them. I think they're quite cool. So the paints are a little bit thicker than what I have often done before. This time I decided to use my clear glue. So it's Elmer's clear glue mixed with water at a 70-30% ratio. Now, compared to paint, I have about 80 grams of paint in each cup. About 80 grams in total. So it's about 45 grams paint and 35 grams pouring medium, because I want them to be that slight bit thicker than normal. I'm hoping that makes it stay in the lines a little bit better. So they all seem to be very similar in consistency. Sometimes you just got to double check before you pour, because I mixed these about an hour and a half ago, and some thicken up and some don't. That one there, the dark blue seems to be maybe slightly not as dark, not as thick. So, but what we're going to do is we're just going to pour some in the bottom of this. So I have a bit of a white base. Going to use approximately half of my cup of white, because instead of making 2 cups of white, I just made a double dose. Come on, drip. One more drip, if it will. There we go. Now, I'm not going to layer these like normal. I'm just going to pour them in. So again, just a bit. So I want this to kind of cover 5 cups twice, if possible. It's kind of a bit of a dirty pour, but it's not really sinking in as much because the paints are quite thick. So it's mostly sitting on top. But we want them to blend a bit. Now the grey. So I wasn't sure, I didn't want to have black in this artwork because I'm not actually liking my black lately. It's giving me weird paint reactions and I'm not so happy with it. So I've added a little bit of black into the white and into the blue, but I haven't actually got black by itself. It makes these kind of unusual fractals. And it's happened for a while now, so I'm choosing to just go. I'm not going to use that for a little bit. Alright, the one cup that could probably do with a bit more white is number 1 and number 2. I'm being gentleish because I don't want too many bubbles in this artwork, because that's going to give me cells or circles when I want it to be lines. So I'm trying not to be too vigorous. Alright, now some more turquoise. You can layer these however you like. I just decided to do it this way because they're thick. If I left them as a layer, I think it would give me different reactions. I think they would stay too separate when I really want there to be an assortment of blues. That's cerulean. If this is boring you, you can always fast forward. I just like to try and show the whole process so people that haven't seen it before have an idea, and those that have seen it before can always just hit the fast forward button a little bit and skip to the exciting parts. Well, for us pourers it's exciting. Other people might go, that's not exactly the most exciting thing I've seen. So I wanted 5 cups, so then the paint, I don't have to really tilt from side to side. I can just go up and down. If I had 4 cups, I would have to tilt a little bit side to side. And that would mean that my lines would have the possibility of being like thinner in the middle and thicker on the edges. And I wanted to kind of just be a little bit careful of that. Now just trying to make sure these are relatively even in paint. Might just put a dash of that in this last one and scrape out into this one. And better take my watch off. Somehow I will get paint on it. Okay. Actually, before I put the gloves on, I might flip these cups over because they're going to have to settle in their spot for a minute. So I need them relatively near the top and quite close together. Okay, so now just space them out evenly. Awesome. So, what I'm hoping for and what I'm going to get might be 2 different things, but we will see. I want lines. That's the plan. We are recording. Yes, we are. So the hard part is going to be, because these paints are thick, they're not going to want to flow so easy when I do the flips. Okay. So this hopefully should turn out pretty good. I've got the tape on the sides just so it doesn't go over the edge because my cups are really close to the edge. We will see whether I need to do the top and the bottom after I've done it for next time. But for now, we'll do it this way and hope for the best. Okay, so I'm going to flip and then leave that cup there. Yeah, the paint's thick, so it doesn't want to actually go far. It wants to come out in that one spot. So for now, I'm just watching it to make sure it doesn't go over that edge. And these cups are just to let the paint drip out because I'll end up tipping them off anyway. As much as the paint is close to that end, I'm actually going to tip this way so I can get rid of any of this mess and uneven parts that I'm not keen on. So they're just there for flow. This extra paint that's come out will all get tipped off because it's got funny patterns to it. It's just because the paint is thick, I knew there was going to be a fair bit left in the cup. So, you can feel some weight there. It's not 100% on this side, but I don't really want to I'm gonna have no, I'll torch it last. I have got bubbles, and they are going to create kind of cells, but if I do it now, they're going to grow and become big cells. If I leave them and pop them at the end, they will stay a bit smaller. So hopefully that will be what I want. I am going to have to put some paint over this end. I'm going to come back a bit. I might not get as much. I might end up getting what I said, bigger bits at the ends and more streaky bits in the middle. We will see. So I might as well walk it a bit. It is probably going to put more paint in the centre by doing that. It's going to squish up the middle and space out the sides. Can't help that really. So we're going over a bit there. Now I'm just going to come straight back up and bring it this way. And see if I can get that bit to go over. Okay, bring that back. And that moth, sorry moth, I don't want to hurt you, but you're going to ruin my artwork. And now it's just a matter of, I'm going slowly because I'm hoping that the paint will end up being quite even. Might be too thick because it hasn't actually blended as much as I would have liked. It's nearly there. It's going to start moving over the edge in a second. Just taking it slow. Alright, over. That one. Yours going to have more issues with one side than another. Okay, tipping it over. Bringing it back down. Alright, the paint's relatively in the middle. Now I've got to take these off and hopefully this paint is going to start now running over the edges. Without me having to tilt. That's the theory. It's trying to. Let me just give it a tiny little tilt. That way. And that way. And come back. I really don't want these lines to go out of shape. I'm just going to run my finger along here and see if I can wet this side to help this paint roll over. Or I don't like that corner. So what have I got left in this? Now I wish I hadn't have put these cups into each other. I might regret what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking something. Thinking whether I should try and do a ribbon. I think I am going to try and do a ribbon and hope I don't get a drip. I did. I'm not going to do another one, but I do want to get rid of that corner. So I'm going to tilt it. I'm going to lose a bit of paint here, but I want that corner gone. Paint hasn't quite gone over the edges either. Probably should have done them before I did tilting off that last bit. Alright. Let me just quickly there we go. There we go. Okay, so it isn't 100% what I had planned, but I think it may dry okay. I don't know if I should have done that last ribbon, or that one ribbon. It was a thought, but it hasn't got that same blended feel as the rest. But it might actually dry okay, so I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. I should have removed all my cups. That's okay. It doesn't look horrible. I'm just going to pack these up. I can take them to the sink afterwards. Just get them out of my way before I knock more of them over. Okay. Well, I kind of got what I was planning in my head, maybe a little bit more different than what I was expecting. But I can learn from, that's one thing. Painting is never wrong if you can learn from what you have done. If there's some sort of learning experience in there, then it's a positive. I think this might dry okay. I might have to embellish it or something if I want it to be a bit more exciting. I'm going to torch these bubbles out. So I reckon I could have made it slightly thick, because even some of these bubbles don't actually want to pop. But it's good, because now I know. Try it next time a little bit thinner and see what happens. It might not give me any difference, but it's worth a try. But I think torching it has actually given it a little bit more interest. It's put a few little specks through it, through the colours. Now I'm just going to have to scrape my edges, otherwise it's going to all get pulled off and ruin what I've been doing. Okay, still got paint all over me, and it's blue. Blue doesn't come off that easy. Alright, so there's my painting. My lines aren't completely straight as I planned, but that's okay. Because the whole process was a little bit different to what I was expecting, so now I've learned from it, and this isn't too bad. I think it actually looks better if that is the top and that's the bottom, just standing there looking at it. But we'll see. So I just have to wait to let it dry and see what happens from there. But for now, I'll bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, I've tried to get lines without cells. They're relatively okay. I was planning, so what you plan for and what you achieve isn't always the same. But sometimes if you go on, I hate it because it's not what I planned, then you might actually not like half your artworks. So sometimes let it dry, take a few days, come back to it, and you actually may be happy with what you've got because you don't have your like preconception of what it should have been. But yeah, so it's kind of oceany colours, blues. Can't see a lot of the grey, probably bits of grey there. There's actually not a lot of white at all. So we'll tweak this and see what we get next time. But there's definite effects and lines happening. Alright, well, I won't bore you anymore. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and comment, like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the bell and click all. And I'll see you next time for another pour. Alright, have a good night, everyone. Bye.